Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to FortressCraft Evolved. I'm AxionEvolved, and today we are still in a war. And here is our enemy, the cryoplasm. But luckily, we have a defensive line that we're building out here. And so today I think we need to expand it, kind of get it a little bit more fleshed out. There's a couple things that we got to put. First off, there's no guns. There's nothing to fight the cryoplasm here. So this is going to kind of serve, I've been thinking about it a little bit. It's going to serve as maybe the interior defensive line, because I think I'd mentioned before, I want to build an outer perimeter line. Maybe something closer to the actual perimeter of the base to actually kind of fight the cryoplasm in, like, right where it's breaking through. So exterior, interior defensive line, but we gotta flesh this thing out a little bit more. It's got some power. I think I just, because I'm looking now, it's definitely not being actively powered. I think that's just what's in there. But I know we had sent some power over to there for a little bit, right? So we had provisioned this area right here, at least as a starting point for our power generation. Now this is going to be a geothermal generator, right? And if you look real quick, we have everything we need to craft one. But before I do that, do me a quick favor. Scroll down just a little bit. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get to 1,000 subs. Appreciate it. All right, so let's click this. Boom. 75, geothermal. So I think we just do it. Now, I know we're going to need, hold on, let me hotbar this real quick. I know we're going to need to supply it with a little bit more material, right? So it's not just the geothermal generator itself. There's a couple things. There's a short-term requirement, and then there's a long-term requirement. Because this thing is only going to produce a certain amount of power as constructed, right? And the way to deal, or the way to get more power, is going to require us to get into the particulate filtration stuff. Because the way conceptually this works, if you look at the bottom left there, right? Conceptually, it works on a temperature differential system, right? So what it does, and again, I don't have the stuff it needs here, but I need to give it some pipes. I believe it's heat conducting pipes. Yeah, heat conducting pipes. Yeah, so do I have any of those on me? I don't even know. Oh, yeah, I do. But I know for a fact I'm going to need more. So let's go get more. But the idea is that this thing will feed heat conducting pipe all the way down to the magma cavern. So I think that's going to be like 500, 600 pipes maybe. So we're going to need a bunch of those. But I mean, you can see when the screen clears up, it's only producing 0 power per second because there's no temperature differential. So in fact, I think I can just, for now, let's just do this. And let's throw some in there. And then we should see as it goes down. See, depth 249, we're at fractional power per second. But the lower it goes, the bigger the temperature differential, the more power, right? So, unaltered, if we put in the heat conducting pipes, it'll generate X amount of power, right? But if you notice, if we put a freeze-on canister into a hopper, you get a 20x boost. And that's kind of what we need to get to, right? So this will give us, I don't know, a couple hundred, maybe 1,000 power per second. I don't remember off the top of my head. But you can see it's doing 15 power per second now. But then as we get, like that's not going to be enough. We need to get those defenses online. Basically, we just need to start scaling everything, you know? I don't even know where heat conducting pipes are. Did I make those? I thought I did. Let's check out here. Heat conducting pipes. No. Pipes? Heat conducting pipes? No, those are regular pipes. Mark 3. Heat conducting pipe. Boom. how is that set up? I'm also noticing that like we're still kind of slow on the, what is that? Mesh Weaver, Crystal Deposit. We're still kind of slow on some of the tier 2 metals. Eventually, let's see. Eventually, I'd like to get into a better trencher. So one that's more efficient, right? Because I think this is only like 10. It's like very efficient on low tiers. So actually, that might be good enough for some of the lower ones. I know, I mean, I guess I could just build more quarries, right? That was kind of the whole idea behind this. Because if we go and look at what we have, now that we got this power setup going well, it's, I mean, looks like the lines are all full. Because again, we have a lot of iron, a lot of tier 1 ores that we're not using. So I think we actually need to, well, we do have these overflows. We're just getting so much. We're just getting so much in that it's clogging up the lines. And I think it's mostly here. The tin. But that's being fed from underground. This game doesn't do a great job of accepting or of merging things. So that's what's holding everything up. So if I just do that, whoop, and we kind of let some of that feed out. I'm just going to let that do its thing for a little bit. I could use, now there are mergers, right? There's zipper merges and all that stuff. I could do that. That would just, I guess the downside to that is it requires input from both, right? So if I have line 1, line 2, and line 1 is empty and line 2 is empty, it'll wait for something from line 1 before it'll take something from line 2, which can cause a blockage. Maybe that's worth it. I don't know. Yeah, because we need to make sure this thing gets fed. And you can already see it's doing 100 power per second, which, I mean, that's not bad. And when we're not actively in combat, let's say, that'll be fine. In fact, I'm going to take this, and I'm actually going to put it right here. I'm going to put this there. I'm going to put that there, and that's where I'll put the heat conducting pipe. And it should grab it, right? Yeah, okay, it's grabbing it. Because I still need to do, what? I need to like hook it up, you know? So we'll build the battery here. All right, so we're going to have this. Now, I want to make sure that this stuff is all hooked up before I hook up the battery. Before I hook it up to the geothermal. But again, once it's all hooked up, this is kind of the nice thing about geothermal. It's just free. You know what I mean? It's 100 power per second now, and it gets better as it goes down deeper. But it just kind of set it and forget it. As long as you kind of keep feeding it with freeze on, you're going to have all the power you need. And in fact, you're going to need a lot of them to really power like the magma bore and all that, right? So let's do this. All right, so I guess I can hook it up. Like technically it's just a waiting game, right? But this is kind of what our defensive system is going to run off of in the short term. I'm unsure, you know, about, let's call it backup power. It's very hard to see this. I mean, this will just run, right? This will just do its thing the whole time. And it's going kind of slow. Let's see. Still 98 power per second, 386. Something you do have to watch out for on these is this can impact, it can get to ore and all that kind of stuff. And that's going to require, if that happens, you just have to go down there, right? So I think the center is right here. So -12, -10. So we'd have to go down there and at these coordinates and just go deep and see what is blocking the pipe and then clear it up. So that's something you also have to worry about. But technically, I mean, they've all equalized, but technically we have our defenses powered, right? And I think I have some lancers on me somewhere. Cryoplasm lancers. There we go. Okay, so I have 17. Now, I think for the time being, I'm literally just going to put them in the center of the batteries. There's a couple different things to do, right? The Lancer, you can almost think about it like resin, right? Resin, you have an ablator and a liquefier to kind of remove stuff, right? Ablator like softens it and the liquefier takes it, right? This kind of works the same way, except a Lancer can actually remove, a Lancer will remove the cryoplasm, right? That's what its job is. But you can also do like a, I believe there's a melter. And what that does is it'll take the cryoplasm. So you can see the cryoplasm exists in like a tendril state. So you see how it kind of is floating and it's self-supporting in the air. A Lancer will kind of, or a Lancer will just remove these blocks. No problem. I don't remember. It's a melter. I think it's called a melter. The melter will just take those blocks and it'll drop them onto the ground. Where, so you can have some strategies where, like what I've done in the past is I just have kind of like lines of Lancers on the ground with melters in the air, and the melters kind of just stop the cryoplasm from going this way. They drop it, the Lancers take care of it. You can have cryo mines that also, once they contact once the cryoplasm contacts it, it explodes. That's all stuff we have to unlock, and to unlock that, it requires us to do a few things. Basically, it's all bottling gas. And how are we looking over here? I mean, I think the setup's working well enough. This is going. I don't think we're getting the volume, if I'm being perfectly honest. Like these aren't full. They're working, but they're not full. And I believe this is scalable in the sense that we can have another line that comes up here and hits that from the side, and then I think we could mess around and have another line hit there. So it's possible to scale this up without making a bigger footprint, and the same obviously for here. They're just the same thing. So when we have better, I guess there's like two issues, right? One issue is the mining speed, and one issue is the transportation speed. Because I think this still only does 10 bottom load any. I'm a little concerned about why that was staying. Let's go check that out. I haven't looked down there in a little bit, so I'm not sure what the state of the veins are or anything like that. I know we're taking out a lot of... let's do moly. Since chrome's just right above it, we can go check after. Let's see. Alright, so we're good here. These are full. Okay, so the moly's fine. Let's go to the chrome, which I think was the one that we were looking at. The chrome is gone, and that's what I was afraid of. So I need to find more chrome. All right, so let's go back down to the chrome area. I wasn't anticipating doing this episode, but it looks like we have to. Let's find some chrome. So we have a couple options. Dang, okay. I just need to figure out how to get down there. Let me see if going down this shaft is a faster way. Oh, what's this? Well, okay. Looks like I had already done this. 4 million. Okay. So this is what we're going to do. I need to go. I mean, there's options, right? Option 1. Well, we're going to take that. We're going to take this. We're going to take all of these. So what I can do is I can either get this thing set up, this trencher set up on that new deposit, and either dig this deeper, dig this elevator shaft deeper, and connect it down there, or I can just pipe all that stuff up to where this already is. Let's look at how that's set up and just kind of see what's more feasible. All right, so here we are. That's the molly. Yeah, the molly right there. We were just right up there. And here's that big old chromium vein, 4 million. And so I've cleared it out a little bit. And what I think I'm going to do, what I'm going to do, we're going to set up the trencher right in this area. Somewhere, I don't know, somewhere off to the side here. Not quite in this path, but very close to it. Maybe starting on this line right here so that I can have a direct power line to it. And then we're going to output off to the side. And we're going to go this way. And then we're going to turn. And then I'm going to have the elevator come down farther just to here, right? So this will be the input for the elevator. Or for the lift, I'm sorry. And so what? 1, 2, 3. So it'll be these guys right here. We'll turn the sharing on. So we'll have output go right into there. In fact, let me just throw the trencher down, right? I mean, why not? We'll do that. We'll do that. And we want it. And I want it offset just again, so it's just easy power. So we want the drill right there. Now, this is a very interesting area. And the reason I say that is there are a ton, an absolute ton of ores here. Maybe you noticed it while I was over here, right? So we got, and I think because it's close to the center line of the world, right? We're almost at like 0, x equals 0. So it like splits the ores, why you kind of see this going down a face like that. So we have the chromium there. We have a absolutely massive gold vein right here. 18 million. Oh, did you need some lithium? Don't worry, there's another 8 million right there. In fact, I had to tunnel through the lithium to get to this level, right? So let's get this. I want to get it at least hooked up so that we can kind of just connect power. You know? Connect power, do the rack rails, and then it'll just be kind of off and running. And so we're going to do this, and then we're also going to do, probably need to add it back to a hotbar. We're going to do this guy. Bloop. All right. While we're down here, how's this guy doing? Oh, let's just give it more. I know it's not done with that, so we'll just give it more. But you're giving us still 98 power per second. Looks like it's given everything it can to it's given everything it can to those things. I think it goes up to like 1,000 or 500, something like that. Because I want to say maybe more, maybe 900. I want to say that when you have the freeze-on canisters, it gives like 18,000 power per second or something like that. That's what I want to say. I don't know. We'll see. It's been a while. I could probably watch my old video where I did it and see, but let's throw the lift in. Boom, load all, unload all. All right, and so we should be back up with that. So that's pretty nice, honestly. So we got our new chrome set up, which is kind of big. How are you doing? Some organic rock. Lots of organic rock. We will never hurt for organic rock again. Let's see. We do need to plan. And I'm not even sure how much this stuff costs, honestly. But we need to start doing this guy. Right? And man, this stuff's not cheap. So like 70, what is that? 105 just for one, man. These are huge. Okay, so gas bottler. So I think it goes into filter, compressor, storage, bottler. Yeah. And it's to be most efficient, you kind of want to follow what it says here, right? So the compressor, you want 4 filters on it, right? So you want 4 of these. And then, but this can have 4 compressors. So like in a perfect world, you have 4 filters on 1 compressor, but then you have 4 compressors. So it's what, 16 filters, 4 compressors, 1 storage, and 1 bottler. I think that's the way to do it. Again, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to have to watch my own video on how I did this last time, because it's just been a while since I've done it. But where are we going to put all that? That's kind of the question, right? We kind of have space anywhere. This is dedicated for ores and mining, and I think eventually, I don't know, maybe the magma bore will do like right here. You want the magma bore to be as close as possible to your CPH, but there's also like a lot of room. And the magma bore is huge. But I don't think the bottling has to be super big. I'm just going to need the machine blocks for days. How's this doing? Are you seeing anything yet? Oh, it's got full cargo. Nice. Okay. So we're getting the chromium, so that should be good. So I think, man, I think we're just now literally waiting on just more blocks, right? I can, I guess, fill some of this out, start kind of expanding out this way. Let's see. Do we have... I know there's certain triggers, certain events that trigger more cryoplasm, but that looks about where it was. So I think... Let's see. What is it? There we go. I think this guy... Yeah, that's the tendril that's gotten through us. Man, this map looks actually really cool. I don't know what all those little dots are, though. I mean, it must be structures that I've placed. And, okay, so it's mostly... We have our defense set up on the lines that are closest to us. And again, I think there's only like 1 or 2 active ones at a time. Okay, so I think we're doing all right on the defense. Man, we need to really start working on research too. I think this has to be the next step. Well, I mean, more of this. Like, what are we at now? 99 power per second, so it's going down. So just keep feeding this. Keep getting more power. Yeah, and then we got to research more. Okay, let's go look at some of the research real quick and kind of figure out what all we still need. Okay, yeah, so this is the static cryoplasm defense, and you can see it's the cryo mine needs chlorine, which is toxic caverns. So the cryo mine, there's long range, which I think is the dazzler. Yeah, the dazzler and the melter, right? And the sulfur is, we get that in the magma caves. So we're going to need to... What I've done in the past is rather than get a whole setup, I just have a bottling plant in each of those. A particulate filtration. So 1 in the magma caves, 1 in the toxic caves, and obviously 1 in the cold caves. And I just go down, I have them kind of go into 2,000 slot or 5,000 slot hoppers. And then I just go and grab it manually, because rarely... It's usually not worth it to logistic it all back to one area. And then what is the other one? Mobile. I think this is the imbued machine block. Oh, we could do that now. Cryo bomb and bomber falcors. Yeah, those are pretty nice. They're a little finicky, but they're nice. And then the only other thing, so obviously we saw efficient vein extraction. That's just bars, but compressed freeze on. Okay, so I think it just kind of comes down to bottling, right? And I know I'm not going to have enough time in this episode to do that. So I think I'm going to cut it here thank you all so much. The next episode we'll have to start the bottling, because too much stuff relies on compressed Freon that we need, especially like our power, right? And so getting that efficiently set up is kind of a big priority. And I'll just kind of keep saving up. We'll maybe throw another geothermal down. Hopefully, it's just a lot of machine blocks, right? That's what we're waiting on. Just magnetic machine blocks and chrome machine blocks. Luckily, it seems to go fairly quick. Where is that set up? Over here. It seems to go fairly quick, with the only slow part being these imbued machine blocks, right? But looks like we have more than enough. Geez, I almost want to make this a bigger hopper. Let's do 100 slaughter. Because then we can at least have... Yeah, so what is this taking? Crystal... yeah. That way we can at least have a little buffer. Because this is also a 100 slot, so... Ideally, we could just get 200 blocks on demand, you know? And how is this looking? All right, see? But look, here we go. I think this is one of the first batches from the new vein. Okay, so we're doing good. All right, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you're enjoying the series. I'm excited to kind of get some of the bigger stuff going on and actually start fighting the cryoplasm. And with that, we'll see you in the next one.